Hello, everyone. Welcome to another award-winning edition of the Locker Room Chat. My name is John Williams, and I'm joined by my co-host, Walter Stair. And Walter, thank you for being here tonight once again.
Oh, yeah, very glad to be here. I know it's fall break for a lot of folks. I see that across the whole area, even Knox County and down into Kingston, Roane County is out, along with Anderson County and some other areas. But
you're right, and for that reason, we didn't really have any guests tonight, so we're just, me and you just going to get up here and flap our gums.
Yeah, just going to chew the fat a little bit.
Chew the fat, and there's a lot to chew on, and, I guess we'll start out with the third Saturday in October coming up.
Well, it's the first time since I was in my 40s that Tennessee has a true, legitimate chance of winning a football game against Nick Saban. And I'm all for it, and I'm just very hopeful it happens this Saturday. I've never seen a team play as stinky as Alabama played Saturday and still win a football game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they pulled out another one. They held on. A&M had on the 2-yard line, and I'm sort of glad Alabama won.
Yeah.
I wanted Tennessee to get them Alabama undefeated. I want them to come in. They're number one in the coaches poll, I believe, number 3 in the AP.
Right.
Tennessee's 8 and 6 in the AP. So, but I wanted them undefeated.
Well, we went through that streak of 11 years from 71 or whatever to 82 or however it was, adding those 11 years. I was actually at the game in 1982, ended up getting free tickets through the radio station that year, which was like a lottery that I got free tickets to the Tennessee-Alabama game. And that year I would have given 3 tickets to 1 to go to that game. But I was quite a bit younger at that time and was definitely whooping it up.
Yeah, it was a long streak. Was that 11 games?
Exactly.
Now this time it's up to 15.
Yeah, I've had enough of it.
Enough is enough, and it's going to be an orange out.
Oh, I like that. I was talking last week, I wanted it to be all orange, and somebody listened to me. I'm glad they did, but it's nice.
Well, last week?
Yeah.
What do you mean
I said, I wanted them to wear orange, and I wanted to be all orange for the whole stadium.
Oh, yeah. You reckon the Vols will wear all orange? Probably orange pants, too?
I would hope so. I sort of hope they don't go to that black stuff. But who knows? They might do that.
Right. I think it's all orange, so fans are wearing orange.
They won't do smoky gray again, Lord knows.
Boy, it looked good last Saturday against LSU.
Yeah, they certainly did.
Wow. I don't think we could play much better than that, can we?
I don't think so. I was so delighted. I was like, am I seeing this? Is this really happening? Is this true?
In all 3 phases of the game, offense, defense, special teams, start out from the get-go. LSU fumbled the kickoff, and Tennessee took advantage. Before you know it, was 10-0. And LSU tried to rally there a little bit in the second quarter, but Tennessee just got a big touchdown, I think, or a field goal right there for halftime.
And I didn't hardly get settled in good, getting situated to watch the game, and it was already 10-0. I'm going, am I seeing this right?
Right, but wow, let's give it to the defense.
Oh, it was fabulous. For the defense not being near as gifted as the offense, they really, really played well.
Mm-hmm. The defensive line, the secondary, I think that week off helped them a little bit, work on some things. I heard some of the players talking about some of the smaller details, and it really showed. Secondary played well, and defensive line had 5 sacks. Also, like a total of 27 tackles. Just a great.
When you get the sacks and you get the hurries on a quarterback, that means they're looking and they're looking and they're looking, and they can't concentrate near as well.
Jabari Small had 130 yards rushing, and Tennessee, they controlled the clock too. They had I think maybe a couple of drives, 7 or 8 minute drives. So in that hurry-up offense, that's pretty impressive.
When you can have 11 or 12 plays and 80-some-odd yards and eat off like right at 8 minutes of the clock, I mean, that puts a lot of pressure on the other team. I mean, a lot, and that wears them out big time.
Can you believe it? And the Vols are ranked 6.
I've been wanting this for a long time. What is the first time since 2006 that it's been anything like this as far as being ranked? And I guess, Alabama and us in the same top 10 since, 89 or something.
Is it? I was wondering on that. I haven't seen the stats on that.
That's what I understand.
First time since 89, both in the top 10.
Exactly.
They were talking about that game the other day on the radio. I think it was the game that Reggie Cobb was suspended.
Yes.
Didn't get to play, and they said Alabama had Saran Stacy, might have been the running back.
Well, you've got a good memory.
Well, I just heard talking about it on the radio,
right.
And I think that was the game Andy Kelly took over for Sterling Hinton. They were saying Hinton was the starting quarterback.
Yeah, I remember they had sort of back and forth on who was starting, but then once Kelly got in there, he did quite well.
There's been some great games over the years, Tennessee and Alabama, third Saturday in October, and I go back probably to 1970. Really, you probably might recall a few games there in the 60s.
Oh yeah.
I just remember Bill Battle coming in 1970 and shut out the Tide. I think it was 24-0.
Yes, it was.
And that was our last win
for a good while.
For 82.
Yeah.
But there was some close games, a few games in that stretch. Seemed like, just. But for the most part, I think Alabama just was dominant.
Unfortunately, steamrolled over us quite a bit during that time period.
Yeah, they won a few national championships then, and
yeah. Wishbone was coming in handy.
And Johnny Majors came in in 77, and played the Tide. Had some tough games there. What was the game? And I remember the 86 game. I think it was. Tennessee wore all orange. They even had orange shoes.
Oh my God! Yeah, I vaguely remember that. Yes.
We got killed that game. I think that was the last time we wore orange cleats.
And the year before that, I guess, was the fumble recovery by the guy that's Appalachian State. Why can't I remember his name? The linebacker.
Yeah, Dale Jones.
Dale Jones, yes.
Dale Jones had the great deflection and interception, and the 84 game. I remember the Vols were down a couple of scores, and they rallied, got a 2-point conversion. Tony Robinson.
Oh, yes.
Dove in, and Andre Kramer. Andre Non-Dairy Kramer. Remember him?
Yes.
Run that punt back and got us in position to score, and we scored late and went for 2 and got the win. We had a 4-game stretch there, and 82, 3, 4, and 5. Tennessee won 4 in a row. You had Johnny Jones and down in. That game was in Birmingham. I used to play in Birmingham. We went playing Tuscaloosa. I think the first game in Tuscaloosa was.
I never have known the reason why that has been that way, but
I think with T. Martin, I think.
Yeah.
But I just remember some of those games. Of course, the '82 game, Bear Bryant.
Oh yes.
His last game against Tennessee.
Exactly.
The Vols rallied. I actually went to that game too. I couldn't get in. I turned down a ticket for like $20, and I thought it was too much.
Well, back in those days, it's quite a bit of money. Well, I mean, it's still quite a bit of money to me. I'm a little bit poor, but you know.
I didn't have enough money that day or whatever it was, but I didn't want to pay $20 for a ticket.
Well, you know, I mean,
now they're going for
I'm pretty
what?
much that way. Well, no, there's tickets that I heard. My wife told me this. I actually read it myself. A ticket to the Alabama game, supposed to be good tickets. Now this is one ticket, $5,624.
Going for that much? Wow.
And if I had that kind of money, I wouldn't pay.
Well,
I mean, you could buy a pretty good used car for that.
yeah. You have to have money to pay that much. So,
Exactly.
I just wondered, the Florida tickets were going pretty high,
Yeah.
300 to 500. I know some higher than that, but I haven't checked on the Alabama tickets. I'm sure they're probably $500 for
Oh, yeah,
at
easy.
least.
But somebody supposedly had them. I don't know how good of seats they were, but over $5,000, I would. No, I don't think so.
Mm-hmm. But the Vols got that 4-game stretch there in the mid '80s, and then had another little run there by Alabama. I think Tennessee finally snapped that. I think in '95 was it? Peyton Manning was it? To Joey Kent that first
Yes.
play.
Oh, that was a long pass.
Yeah, 80 yards.
Yes.
I think first play.
Got the balls in the right position.
I went to the '93 game down in Birmingham, and Alabama had that quarterback slash Deuce Palmer, and that Alabama rallied to tie us. Remember that?
Yes.
In '93, Heath Schuler was quarterback, and he was playing with a bum shoulder, I think, and he told Fulmer, he wanted to stay in. They let him stay in. They could have brought in Jerry Colquitt, but they didn't, and Alabama came back to tie and felt like a loss.
Yeah. Yeah, I never did like that you could tie. I just never thought that was even a worthwhile thing all those years.
Mm-hmm. In '94, Peyton's first game against Alabama, we lost that game at home. I just remember the '95 game. Then we went on our own little stretch after that. I think
Yeah.
those teams we had in the '90s.
Oh, we had a lot of good ones in the '90s up to 2001, and then we started falling a little bit after that.
Then you had the great win down in Tuscaloosa. I guess Casey Clausen. I think it went into 4 or 5 overtimes.
Oh yes, he was a good quarterback. He was underrated in a lot of respects.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had that California cool and turned a lot of people off. But
Yeah.
he was. I met him one time. He was real nice. Signed an autograph for my daughter, and
Oh, good.
seemed like he got a bad rep, but he seems sort of underrated. He had a lot of big wins. He won at Florida, I think, twice, and Alabama,
yeah.
and Notre Dame. He won a lot of big games. I think his first game he ever started was against Alabama as a freshman. They brought him in. I'm not sure what year that was, 2001 maybe,
Yeah.
there, but I remember him getting that start against Alabama as freshman.
Because I know one of the Florida wins was 2003, but
Yeah. So we got a call here. Phone lines are open. You want to give us a call? Go ahead, caller. You're on the locker room chat.
Well, what's going on, Big Daddy?
And it's our guest caller.
there he is.
I don't know about all that.
I told Walter off the air we had a guest caller going to call in, and so welcome.
Well, I can tell you this. Tennessee's about to run Alabama out of the stadium.
You say take the points.
I jumped on Tennessee +8 like I don't even know how to describe. Like I jumped on it so quick that it wasn't even funny.
So what's your rationale on this?
my rationale, okay. Tennessee is great on offense, okay.
Yeah, number one in the country.
They're great on offense.
Whole offense.
They're good on defense. And they're good on special teams and have improved each week on special teams. They're getting better.
I like that D. Williams last week. He got him back, and he about run the punt back first time he touched the ball.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
Junior college transfer, I believe.
Alabama is going to be, okay, now, I'm going to tell you, I'm not a college football coach. I'm not a high school football coach. I'm not anything. I'm just a fan.
Super
But
fan.
in 1985, when Jim McMahon was the quarterback for the Chicago Bears, they played the Green Bay Packers at Green Bay. And on the second play of the game, they put a third-string linebacker in. And after the play was over, he picked Jim McMahon up and slammed him down on his shoulder as hard as he could. If I was Tennessee, I'd do that.
So he play dirty?
Hey, you play to win.
Well, you want to do it in the game. You know, you don't want to take a cheap shot. Make it clean tackle, sort of like Tyler Barron did against that Pittsburgh quarterback.
I'm telling you, Tennessee needs to shut the door early and pour the gas on. I think it's going to be like a 48-10 game.
What do you think, Walter?
I think we'll win, but I don't think we'll win by that much.
Kicking the balls.
Oh, yes.
I think Tennessee is going to run them out of the dang stadium. Game day is there. SEC Nation is there. I'm getting my Gator tattoo. I'm getting a freaking Tennessee baseball hat tattooed on my shoulder on top of my Gator because I am on the Tennessee bandwagon.
Have you heard this, Walter?
No, I haven't heard this.
He's got a Gator tattoo on his arm,
My right shoulder.
right shoulder, and he's going to put a Tennessee hat on that
Tennessee
Gator.
baseball hat. I'm
good
getting a
Lord.
Tennessee baseball hat tattooed on top of my Gator. And I would not be surprised if I didn't make it on game day on Saturday.
I'd say if you're going to do that, they'll have you on. You getting over there at 6 o'clock?
I'll be there about 5:30 Saturday morning. Yeah.
You'll be on at game day.
Oh yeah, for sure.
SEC Nation, that's Tim Tebow, right? And
Now that's one ass whipping I don't want to take. He's a lot bigger than me. He could whoop the dog out of me if he wanted to. I don't want to make Tim Tebow mad at me, but I'm on the Tennessee bandwagon, man. I'm on the bandwagon. Go Vols!
where's Tim Tebow going to be at? Where's SEC Nation? They're not set up for game day.
They're going to be at the top of the Thompson Bowl Arena parking garage.
What time?
Which means that they come on the same time game day does. But that means he can't come down there and whoop up them. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Because I'm going to be on site for the game day. I'm telling you, man, it's on like Donkey Kong, son.
well,
And then the following Friday night, we got Oliver Springs at Cofield. Hey, I'm calling it right now. Record-breaking crowd.
is Cofield off this week? I know OS is.
Yes, Cofield is off this week.
OS is off too.
Yes. Both teams got 2 weeks to get ready for each other.
That'd be for
It's gonna be a dadgum slobber knocker, son.
that's for the region championship, isn't it?
It's gonna be a slobber knocker. It's gonna be dadgum. I'm gonna say it's gonna be one of them like 21-20 games.
What?
Somebody's going to miss an extra point.
21-20.
Or it's going to be 14-14 at the end of regulation, and then they're going to go into overtime. One of them games. It's going to be a dadgum fight.
That ain't what you told me last night.
That is not what I told you last night.
You had a change of heart.
I didn't say that.
Last night you were saying,
Don't you tell?
last night you were saying big, Cofield big.
Don't you repeat anything you heard last night, because last night was irrelevant.
Oh, okay.
Right now, I'm saying it's going to be a dogfight.
What about that running back, Oliver Springs there, that Jackson Jet?
He is a stud.
Freshman.
Oh, yeah.
It don't matter if he's a freshman or a senior, he's still a stud.
I know, I'm just saying he's a freshman.
I seen him break 11 tackles. I think everybody on Cofield's football team touched him on that run that he had at Cofield last year. And he still scored. He digs taters.
In the middle school.
His cleats don't slide, they dig.
Yeah, I heard a lot of good things about him. He's putting up some good numbers, and
I ain't got a bad word to say about him.
Coach Tyler Harper there at Oliver Springs, he's doing a really good job with that young team, right, Walter?
He certainly has. They've made the biggest improvement around here.
How many freshmen and sophomore he said he had when he was in studio?
I think 21 or 22.
And they only have
I'm
like a
gonna
total of
say
about
this.
30 players.
Exactly.
Are we ready to go all the way live?
We're live.
Cofield is going to beat the socks off Oliver Springs.
I guess like you said, it'd be a close game.
Nah, you know what I'm saying. I was trying to be nice. But Cofield's going to beat the socks off Oliver Springs this year. But
Oliver Springs fans, you out there listening, you hear this?
Oliver Springs has got potential coming.
Christy's her name.
Oliver
Christy,
Springs
you hear
has
this?
got potential coming in the next 2 years where they might actually beat us, but they ain't beat us recently, and they ain't going to do it this year.
I think y'all be in trouble. Cofield be in trouble after this year.
Cofield blows Oliver Springs out
You
this year.
may get them this year, but
That's right.
after this,
That's
I don't
right.
know. It's going to be
I agree with you. We
lot
graduate
harder,
a lot.
like you say, on
We
like
graduate
donkey.
a lot. We graduate a lot. Graduate a lot. I'm with you. I mean, and the fact that you said, oh, we have a designated caller, you know what I'm saying? Hey, woohoo. But, I mean, I tried to play devil's advocate on it.
I said guest caller.
Well, guest caller, whatever. You did invite me to call. But what I'm saying is,
Oh, you said you was going to call in.
hey, Cofield is going to smoke Oliver Springs.
Okay.
And they're going to go into the playoffs. They're going to go into the playoffs, and they're going to have a run. And I hope Cofield gets another shot at Gordonsville.
Well, I don't know if y'all want that or not, but
If that happens, that means Gordonsville beats South Pitt, because that's the only way we can get back to them if I look at the bracket right.
I thought Gordonsville would be a quarterfinal game, third round.
I know. The winner of the Gordonsville South Pittsburgh game is going to come out of the second round on that bracket.
I thought you wouldn't play South Pitt to semifinals. It's normally how it goes.
Would it be the final? Well, I thought it would be third round.
No, I think Gordonsville would be third round and South Pitt would be semifinal.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, if they get through Gordonsville in the third round, South Pitt in the fourth round, the state championship game will be a breeze, because that's the two toughest teams in the state besides Cofield. But
Cofield
has got to execute.
Y'all played Gordonsville a few weeks ago. It wasn't pretty. So
Hey, you know what? It is what it is. But it's hard to beat the same team twice in the same year. When you line up against the same dude and he whooped your rear end all over the field 6 weeks, 7 weeks earlier, or whatever, and then you lined up against him again, and you've been practicing, you've got bigger, stronger, faster. You've worked hard, and you line up against that same dude. It's a whole lot harder for that same dude to whoop you the same way he did the first time he lined up against him.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a tougher second go around. But yeah, I hope Cofield gets a rematch.
Hey, I'm telling you, I believe that Cofield and Tennessee are going to win.
Both of them going to walk the dog, huh?
I believe that's exactly how I think it's going to go, too. I think Tennessee's going to walk the dog over Alabama, and I think Cofield's going to walk the dog over Olive Springs for the last time in about 3 or 4 years, because after this year, it's going to be a dogfight with Olive Springs Cofield, because Cofield loses a lot, and Olive Springs has got a lot coming back.
Tennessee, they may win, but I don't think it's going to be no blowout.
No.
I'm telling you, man, that you can believe. Hey, I've seen Alabama play, and if you bring Bryce Young back at 60%,
is he playing?
Yeah, I mean, if he does, he'll be, 60, 70%?
Have you heard anything, Walter?
No, I've not heard anything.
I haven't either. But if he does play, he's going to be 60, 70%.
What was
He's got a sprained AC joint in his throwing shoulder. That's the worst.
That would be rough. Really rough.
What's those turnovers they had last week?
4.
Were they interceptions or
Fumbles.
all fumbles?
One fumble and 2 interceptions and a muff punt.
Who's their backup quarterback? What grade? What's he?
I don't know, but I can tell you this: he's fast as lightning.
Is he sophomore? Junior?
He's quick.
Freshman? What grade's he?
I don't know. I can't answer that question, but I can tell you this: he's fast. He can run like the wind. I mean, he's quick as a cat.
He better run. That Joseph's coming after him.
Oh yes.
I would, if I was Tennessee, and I came out, even if whether Bryce Young starts or the backup, I would blitz on every play to start the game. He would be wanting to find a spot to put that football between his legs underneath his tail, because he'd have his tail tucked, wanting to keep from getting hit.
Well, yeah, it's going to be a good game. It's going to be orange out. It's game day, like you said. It's going to be loud and about 75 degree, nice weather, and perfect time for the balls.
Yeah.
Walter.
Uh-huh.
Do you miss Concord, my man?
No. Not even close.
He said not even close. Man, life is so much better, ain't it?
It certainly is, yes.
Oh, for sure. I'm right there with you, man. I can't believe we lived in misery as long as we did.
Oh, it was pure H, and I won't say anything further on live TV, so.
Misery?
Y'all carried the mail, but I got to get out here and pay some bills. So.
All right. Get her done, man. All right. I'll holler at y'all.
Thanks for
Take
calling
care.
in.
See you, bye.
Go Balls.
Hey, and go Jackets.
You got it.
Go
Go Balls
Bobcats.
and go Jackets. I'm going to say it out loud. Go Balls. Go Balls.
That's unbelievable. I have to
And
admit.
go Jackets. Go
All right.
Jackets. All right. Bye.
All right. We need a break.
He's something else.
So we're going to take a break. We got about an hour left in the show. Phone lines are open. We're going to come back. We're going to talk some high school football, what happened last week. We're going to look at region standings. We're going to look at the polls across the state. We also got some enrollment numbers we're going to look at for football. for next year, and also we're going to make our picks tonight. So stick around. You don't want to miss it. You're watching Locker Room Chat.
Football is back, and OAB Law is excited for a season full of big hits and those nail-biting near misses. If you've been injured, OAB Law will come to your defense. Call OAB Law and turn your wreck into a check.
I'm Amanda, one of the RN shift leaders at Rome Medical Center. I love the sense of community that we have here. It's unlike anything I've ever experienced, and that's why I choose Rome Medical Center.
I choose Rome Medical Center because this is where my heart is. My family and friends use Rome Medical Center, and I want everyone that comes through our doors to have an experience that makes them as proud of Rome Medical Center as I am.
Find out why Roan Medical Center is the best choice for your future in healthcare. Learn more at roanmedicalcenter.com.
There's a lot of talk about the risks associated with the COVID-19 vaccine, but the reality is it's safer than being tackled by a Tennessee Titan. Give it a shot. Find a free vaccine appointment today at covid19.tn.gov.
Earl Duff Pre-Owned Center in Harriman is East Tennessee's best choice for pre-owned vehicle sales and service. Earl Duff is a name you know and trust, and we have been meeting the automotive needs of Roan and surrounding counties for over 49 years. Shopping with us is easy, and we treat our customers like family. From sales to finance to service, we're your one-stop shop for everything automotive. Don't settle for less with your next pre-owned vehicle purchase. Come to Earl Duff Pre-Owned Center in Harriman or online at duffpreowned.com.
I am Dr. Jan Hahn, and I am running for House District Seat 32. I am a fiscal conservative and a social moderate. You don't take money from people who don't have it, and you don't spend money that you don't have. No government can tell me what I can or cannot do in the privacy of my home. We face common problems and must solve them together. I am a fresh face with new ideas and a different way.
We treat you like family at RMG. Bring your junk, cars, aluminum cans. We'll buy it on the spot and we'll pay you a lot. We treat you like family at RMG. Yeah, we treat you like family at RMG. We treat you like family.
Rome Metals is located just off of Highway 27 between Harriman and Rockwood.
A season full of big hits and those nail-biting near misses. If you've been injured, OAB Law will come to your defense. Call OAB Law and turn your wreck into a check.
Welcome back into the Locker Room Chat. Our numbers are wide open. Give us a call. Have no guests tonight. We're just going to talk sports. We had Lake City Lady Lakers volleyball team on last week, and that was a treat.
They were quite spirited. Mm-hmm. I mean, everyone in the whole building was really excited about it.
They was doing cheers, and this place was loud, and it was rocking last week. But, speaking of volleyball, and Anderson County girls won the region last night, defeating Gibbs, and they will be playing Greenville tomorrow night, I think 7 o'clock at Anderson County High School in the sub-state. The winner of that game going on to the state volleyball tournament. And I believe that's still down in Middle Tennessee, down in Murfreesboro area. But I think AC girls, this will be like their maybe 4th straight trip.
Well, good.
To the state. I think finished runner-up one year and got a couple third places, but they're looking for that gold volleyball.
And then also with the Lady Maverick soccer team defeated Kingston 5-2 to win the district tournament championship. So a lot of good things going on around here.
Anderson County soccer, won the district last night. Coach Chris Curtin, as you mentioned, defeated Kingston. I'm not sure who AC plays next. Last year AC and Kingston both were like this. They one won the regular season, one won the tournament, and end up playing each other for the region championship. So it's a possibility both those schools might meet for the region title, and both of them advanced to the sub-state last year and both lost some heartbreaking games. I know AC lost one of those games at a shootout, penalty kick.
Exactly.
Not a penalty kick, but just a shootout. So, yeah, congratulations, Anderson County girls volleyball and soccer. And so let's look back last week, Walter. Let's talk about, you got Bearden girls soccer. You mentioned them off the air.
Yeah, that sort of blew my mind. I've never heard of, it's been a long time since I've heard of one of our East Tennessee teams being #1 in the United States. Not often has the Bearden soccer team been challenged this season, but it was Tuesday night. They came at home in a District 4 AAA elimination semifinal against rival Farragut 2-1, securing a berth in the district championship and Region 2 AAA semifinals. Bearden, which is 17-0, is ranked #1 in the United States of America, in the nation, by United Soccer Coaches, and is the defending Class AAA state champions.
That's quite the accomplishment there, #1 in the nation.
Now that's something else right there.
I don't know how you do that, but
yeah, I don't know that either. Last one I heard that was #1 in the United States was the mythical national championship of Oak Ridge the year I was born, 1958.
Mythical, yeah, right. That's
exactly.
That's the key word. In the football, let's go back last week. We'll start with the Anderson County schools, and the Mavericks won their 6th straight region championship last week, defeating Gibbs on rivalry Thursday, 55-24, and Walker Martinez had another big game, passed for 361 yards and 5 touchdowns.
My goodness. And the fact they're now 8-0, and last year they were 5-5 at the end of the regular season, and of course still made the playoffs because they were undefeated within the region. But they have won those close games this year because they have the depth to finish what they need to do. They've got, of course, one running back, which was their normal running back, and he's been injured a lot, and then the other, I forgot his name.
Moog.
Yes, he has come in and I think has already ran for about 1,000 yards rushing. I mean, when you've got good ball players like that and a quarterback like you do, and the wide receiver Val, I mean, you've got a lot of good weapons.
Yeah, Val had 6 catches last week, 106 yards and 2 touchdowns, and they got a lot of weapons. Coach Gillum. He's on the show talking about how many wide receivers they had. They don't really drop off any. Eli Braden's coming on here of late. I think he got a player of the week last week, and he's really coming on as well. So, AC's off this week, so we'll get the rest up, and they got Bearden next week, I believe. That'll be a test.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I think Bearden's coming to AC.
That could be an interesting matchup.
Mm-hmm. That'll be a good one. Also, staying in Anderson County, Clinton Dragons, they're off this week as well. Eliminated last week by Lenore City. Can you believe Clinton is out of the playoffs?
I can't believe
they never were in it, but
right.
You can't make it.
The bad luck that they keep on having close games within, in effect, a touchdown, and last second plays in a matter of inch or two. It's just heart wrenching.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking losses, and You know, he lost by 7 to Powell, 7 to Oak Ridge, 6 to Campbell County in overtime, and 4 points to Lenore City last week. But
in a matter of the last second. I mean, a lot of those games were the last second.
Clinton tried to pull it out there at had a big pass to Lucas Kendall to get down there. Had like 30-something seconds to go. Completed a 4th down pass to keep the drive alive, and Joshua Keith looked like he was going to score, but the ball got knocked out, and Lenore City recovered right there on the goal line. So just heartbreaking. It's just disappointing if you're a Dragon fan, and Clinton off this week, and they close out with Carnes, Gibbs and Carnes. So
exactly.
Playing for pride.
Yeah, playing for pride, and I've seen some Clinton teams. Last year was a little bit like this year. You go back to and I know this is a long time ago, but the 1970s, there was a Clinton team in 1973 with Ken Honey his last year. They were 3-7. They played, every team they played was in the top 18 in the state at some point in that year. And until the last game of the year, they lost by 1 touchdown or less in every single game. And I mean, that is heart-wrenching to do. They lost to, Maryville Everett in the last game of the season by 14. But prior to that, they lost every game by 7 points or less.
Yeah, I remember the Oak Ridge game that year. They lost 3-0.
Exactly.
Oak Ridge kicked a long field goal to win at the end of the game. But I mentioned Joshua Keith's having a great season. He's really come into his own this year. Last week going in, I think he had 22 touchdown passes to 2 interceptions. And
my goodness, that's good.
Clinton's got a lot of talent. Getting a lot of props this year from 5-star preps, and I think they were on the verge of getting in the 5A state rankings there at one point. And but it's just it's football, and Clinton's a junior-dominated team, so they got a lot to look forward to next year. But it's just hard to believe, they're out of the playoff chase. So
yeah, exactly.
I think the 4 teams are probably set now. I think Oak Ridge, Powell, Campbell County, and Carnes, not necessarily in that order, but that's That's going to be your 4 teams. And switching over to Oak Ridge, and they hosting Carnes tomorrow night on Rivalry Thursday, and
that'll be a good ball game.
Yeah, that Carnes, I think, can still get second place with the win over Oak Ridge, and that's what they did last year.
Yeah.
So the Wildcats last week, they were just hammered by Greenville, 49-13.
Exactly. I sort of thought that would happen. Greenville is just tough and physical and ready to go.
Oak Ridge had a lot of turnovers, I heard, inside their own 10-yard line, 3 or 4 turnovers, and the game got away from them early. I think Oak Ridge went up 28-0, and it was all Green Devils, but the Quillen brothers led Greenville to the win. One of them's a quarterback, one's a running back. I didn't know they had a brother playing, but
oh my goodness.
Yeah, so Oak Ridge, as mentioned, got Carnes this week, so big game there at Blankenship.
And I know, talking about Bishop of Carnes, now this was only through week 7, which we're of course, in week 9? Are we in week 8 or week 9, actually? I don't know which week.
We're going into week 9.
Week 9, right. But this is through week 7, which he's got a lot in the last couple of weeks, I'm sure. But he had, 1,554 yards through week 7, Bishop had. And Moog of Anderson County, which we had talked about, which he's probably got 1,000 now, but through week 7 he had 805. And Goins of Clinton had 791, which he's probably right at 1,000 too at this point, since we've had 2 games since that point. So
jumping down to Roane County, let's look at the action at Kingston last week, losing to Signal Mountain.
I was a bit surprised with that.
21-14, and that puts Kingston behind the the 8 ball, I think. They got Loudon coming up. I think they need to win that to get in the playoffs.
And that could be a tough one for them.
Because Loudon went to Men's Central last week and shut them out, 29-0, I believe. So I think that's the last game of the regular season. Loudon and Kingston get together, but Kingston's off this week, and so that's sort of.
This seems to be the week that are just the most teams that we cover are off. I don't think I've seen another week this many teams that we cover being off.
Yeah, we had to scrounge to find some games to pick this week.
Exactly.
We'll be doing that coming up here towards the end of the show. Other teams in Roane County, Harriman 43-22 over Midway. That's a big win for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, Harriman's doing pretty good all the way around.
Keeps them in the playoff hunt. They got a big game this week at Greenback.
That could be a pretty good one, actually.
Looking down the list here, who else we got? Rockwood. Rockwood was off last week, and they're going to be the OEB Law Game of the Week this week. Rockwood hosting Wartburg.
Yeah, I think Rockwood will have the advantage in that one. Rockwood's pretty physical all the way around.
Yeah, they're coming off a big win. They had over Oneida in week 7, so Rockwood's right there battling Monterey. We're going to look at the region standings here in a little bit. Who else in Roane County? About covers Roane County, right? You got
I think so.
Midway, Harriman, Rockwood, Kingston.
Sunbright?
Sunbright's Morgan County.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
We go down to Morgan County, Cofield last week, 40-6 over Greenback. And as Yellow Jackets off this week, getting ready to host Oliver Springs. I guess Oliver Springs is their Roane County team. We didn't mention them.
Right, yes.
Can't leave the Bobcats out. They absolutely destroyed Sunbright last week, 49-6.
Well, to me, of the teams we covered, they are by far the most improved team, as in period, around here. Because to begin with, a lot of people didn't think they would do that great. I thought they would, because it seemed like they had more of a togetherness, and they've got some of these young ball players that are coming up that are really showing good things. And I see a lot of potential in them the rest of the year into the playoffs, and definitely in the next 2 and 3 years. They're going to be something else.
Oh, certainly are. And sticking with the Morgan County squads, Oakdale 50-12 over Cosby. It's snapped a 2-game losing streak for the Eagles. So Oakdale 5-2 and be playing this week as well, I think, or are they off? I think they're off too. And Sunbright, as we mentioned them. That's a look at last week, some of the teams in our area. Right now, Chandler, you want to throw up some region standings? Let's go and look at these region standings. Class 1A, Cofield at the top, and as we mentioned, them and Oliver Springs looks headed for a battle next week in Cofield for that region championship. And it gets interesting when you look for the 3rd and 4th spots. Oakdale, Harriman, and Greenback battling for that, Walter.
Well, that's going to be something. I mean, and do you? What I mean, I guess you go head to head, but then do you go overall and then you go head to head, and then what each one did against the other teams? But you're going down there, and it's going to become somewhat complicated on what happens down there.
Right, it's still to be determined. Harriman's at Greenback this week. So I think Oakdale's off. So
Sunbright's probably definitely out, and Midway's probably out.
I think so.
Yeah.
Midway may have an outside shot, but all right. Region 2, Class 2A, York Institute, and they're stepping out of region this week. They're stepping up to play Gibbs.
Yeah, they're doing better than I actually thought they were doing. I don't know. They're just slipping up the rankings.
York Dragons in Monterey and Oneida play this week. Oneida's at Monterey, and also Rockwood hosting Wartburg in the OEB Law Game of the Week. So those 4 teams battling it out. And who's your projected winner there, Walter?
I think those are going to be some close games all the way around.
York, I'm trying to think who they got left. I'm not sure, but I think they defeated Monterey earlier in the year. They may have Rockwood left.
So they've just got 4 region games. So York Institute has pretty much got the top spot, I guess, but, well, not necessarily.
Mm-hmm. It looks
the
like
inside track, anyway.
Mm-hmm. Looks like your top 4. Wartburg needs a win this week against Rockwood to stay alive, looks like.
I'd say Rockwood will have the edge on Wartburg in this one, I would think. And Monterey probably will have the edge because of what they're playing at home. But
definitely. Okay, go up to 3A. Alcoa on top there. Gatlinburg-Pittman, big win last week, 48-40 over the number 1 team in 2A, Hampton.
Yeah, you picked that one. You beat me on that one. I thought Hampton would win, and you got that one right on Gatlinburg-Pittman. You really can't hardly ever count them out. They're a traditional power, no matter who their coach is. They get a lot of good guys in there.
Mm-hmm. Austin East plays Pigeon Forge this week, and that's a big game in that region. Both teams are 2-1. Northview Academy and Union County. Union County plays Alcoa this week, so
that's unfortunate.
It's going to be a tough one there for the Patriots, I think, and I'm not sure who Northview is playing. Maybe playing Gatlinburg. Not sure on that one, but looks like Alcoa projected winner there. GP looks to be getting number 2 spot. I think they've already defeated Pigeon Forge. So, okay, we'll go up to 4A. We're staying 3A there. Sweetwater, McMinn Central, Loudon, Kingston, Brainerd, Signal Mountain. So that's a battle there, right there for them last spots. I know Kingston's already defeated Brainerd, and they lost to Signal Mountain,
which was very unusual. I thought that was a big win for Signal Mountain and a tough one for Kingston to lose.
Mm-hmm. And Loudon defeated McMinn Central last week. So the Redskins still have a shot at that number 2 position, and they'll be playing Kingston. Kingston's may need a win over Loudon to get in.
Yeah, and you've got Sweetwater, McMinn Central, Loudon, and Kingston are all together, and even the bottom 2, you can't never tell who can do what against the other. I mean, I have been sort of confused on who's going to win against who, because you just can't ever tell in this particular region what's going to happen.
Yeah, Brainerd's at Sweetwater this week, so I would say the Wildcats would win that one. I'd say Sweetwater projected winner in that region.
Yeah, I definitely think so. McMinn Central coming in second, so.
Still up in there, but Got about 3 weeks left in the season there. Anderson County, we talked about, won their 6th straight region title. All of them been undefeated too in the region. So and they have.
They know when to take care of business.
I think they have Scott left the final region game of the season, so they're going to go undefeated. And Fulton's at Scott this week, or Scott's at Fulton. So Fulton should pick up their 3rd win. Gibbs out of region. Carter's coming on. Carter went to Morristown West last week and beat the Trojans.
Yeah.
So they're sort of, Carter's a dangerous team. South Doyle, they got hammered again, I think, Central.
Yeah, something like 49-20 or something like that.
So I think your top 4 right there is the top 4 teams you see, AC, Fulton, Gibbs, and Carter, but the order can definitely change there.
Oh, yeah.
2 through 4. 2 through 4. So.
Because they're really 2, 3, and 4 are pretty balanced all the way around.
Exactly. All right, go up to next region, 5A, Region 2, West Rebels.
They're far better than anybody else in that region.
They're number 1 in the state now, right?
Exactly.
I think they took over. It did have Page up there. We'll take a look at the rankings here in a little bit. West 3-0, Sevier County, and Central 2-1. Heritage
is actually doing quite well in comparison to what they've done in recent times. Matter of fact, they've not had, what did I have on here? They haven't had a winning season in, let's see, what did I have there? Heritage is getting a lot better, 3-4 overall, 1-2 in Region 2 5A, as they'll host Sevier County 6-1, but chock full of a lot of playoff implications. Heritage has lost 16 games in a row to the Smoky Bears dating back to the late 1980s. Mountaineers, who were 0-10 last season, have not made the playoffs since 2016. Last winning season for Heritage was 1999.
1999.
Exactly.
For Heritage.
Exactly. So they have an actual chance, unless they're playing West or somebody in the final 2 weeks or something, to actually get at least a 500 record or a winning record.
In Sevier County, I think they beat Central earlier this year, so they got the inside track to get 2nd place.
Yeah, Sevier County, they've surprised me some, just like Bearden has in one of the other regions, but Sevier County, from the first week beating, I think, Jefferson County 7-6, they just have really done quite well. Their only loss is to West, which they got killed, but I think that's their only loss. But
yeah, West is the projected winner there. I don't know if Sevier County's play Central or not. I'm not sure on that. But,
okay.
5A, Region 3, I think the top 4 teams are set. North City with the big win over Clinton last week. They've already lost to Oak Ridge, Campbell County. They lost to Carnes. They may yet still play Powell, maybe. They got them at 1-3, so they got one region game left. But your top 4 looks like, I think Powell's pretty much clinched it now with that win over Campbell County last week, and looks like Carnes, Campbell County, and Oak Ridge battling 2, 3, 4.
Exactly.
And big game with Carnes at Oak Ridge, and Campbell County is off this week.
Carnes, Oak Ridge tomorrow night, I guess.
Yeah, tomorrow night. Mm-hmm. And 6A, a battle going on there. Some big games in that region, Walter. Bradley Central, or Farragut's at Bradley Central. You got a 4-way tie there at 2-1.
Goodness gracious.
And Bearden's at Cleveland. Of course, Cleveland had that big upset win over Maryville.
Which that's probably smarting real bad because Maryville not lost a region game since 2000.
Right, and so that's going to be some good games in that region. Bradley Central, as I mentioned, hosting Farragut. Farragut may end up winning that. I think Maryville beat Farragut early in the year, right?
Yeah, it was a good game though.
Yeah.
42-28 or something like that.
I think Maryville, who they got left. I'm not sure who they got left in that region, but.
What's amazing, Maryville's not. I mean, we need to do research, but I don't know if they've lost 2 games in the regular season in quite a while.
Yeah, it's probably the 2000 season.
Yeah.
But Hardin Valley, I think they're out of it. They're still winless. They play at Maryville this week. So it looks like you got 4 teams or 5 teams going for 4 spots there. Big game, Bearden at Cleveland this Friday night.
So Cleveland's actually beat Maryville, so they could still be in the hunt if it worked out for them.
Yeah, if they beat Bearden this week, it'd be huge. It probably might get them in.
Yeah.
I think they still play Hardin Valley. I think they close out with them. All right. Let's look at the region standings, and right now we're going to take another break. We'll come right back. We're going to look at some state rankings, also some enrollment numbers for football coming up next year. So stick around. You're watching Locker Room Chat.
Football is back, and OEB Law is excited for a season full of big hits, perfect plays, and those nail-biting near misses. If you've been injured, OEB Law will come to your defense and tackle any obstacles blocking you from scoring a full and fair settlement. Call OEB Law 865-546-1111 and turn your wreck into a check.
We should never lose sight of our health. To keep moving forward, let's not forget everything we've learned. Limit the salty food options. Make your own daily exercise routine. And always receive regular checkups. More than anything, we have learned how important these small steps can make a big difference, so we can all continue to move forward together.
Earl Duff Pre-Owned Center in Harriman is East Tennessee's best choice for pre-owned vehicle sales and service. Earl Duff is a name you know and trust, and we have been meeting the automotive needs of Roane and surrounding counties for over 49 years. Shopping with us is easy, and we treat our customers like family. From sales to finance to service, we're your one-stop shop for everything automotive. Don't settle for less with your next pre-owned vehicle purchase. Come to Earl Duff Pre-Owned Center in Harriman or online at duffpreowned.com.
Roane Metals Group has been serving East Tennessee for decades. Locally owned and operated with convenient hours of operation, Roane Metals buys all types of scrap metal. Nothing's too big or too small. Still have that clunker sitting around? We've been buying them for years. Roane Metals Group are specialists in industrial scrap. We have what it takes to get any size job done. Roane Metals urges you to recycle responsibly. Scrap with only licensed dealers, a member of the TSRA and the ISRI. Roane Metals Group. Turn that scrap into cash.
I am Dr. Jan Hahn, and I am running for House District Seat 32. I am a fiscal conservative and a social moderate. You don't take money from people who don't have it, and you don't spend money that you don't have. No government can tell me what I can or cannot do in the privacy of my home. We face common problems and must solve them together. I am a fresh face with new ideas and a different way.
I I choose Rome Medical Center because this is where my heart is. My family and friends use Rome Medical Center, and I want everyone that comes through our doors to have an experience that makes them as proud of Rome Medical Center as I am. I'm Nancy Easter, Manager of Materials at Rome Medical Center, and I'm so happy to work for an employer that values me and makes me feel appreciated.
Find out why Roan Medical Center is the best choice for your future in healthcare. Learn more at roanmedicalcenter.com.
Welcome back into the locker room chat, and Atlanta Braves 0-0 with the Phillies right now, Walter. Major League Baseball playoffs going on.
Yeah, we want the Braves to keep on winning.
I was wanting my Cardinals to beat the Phillies, but it didn't happen.
Uh-oh.
We're supposed to be playing Atlanta.
Well, you know.
Pujols and Yachty are going to retire, and I thought for sure they'd get past Philadelphia, but.
Well, Pujols what ended up with 703 home runs. Now, I'm glad he did what he was able to do. So.
Exactly, and
good ball play.
Looking at some of these teams here again. We was talking about Central. Central's already played Sevier County. Yeah, they lost 21-14 early in the year. And Central closes out with the Halls. It's on the 21st. So Central's off this week, and they got Halls, and they close with West. So
probably lose to West regardless, but you know the creek could rise, but I don't think so.
Mm-hmm. And that other region was 6A, 4 teams with 2-1.
That's extremely interesting. I mean, that could be. That could be one of those that they'll have to sort out.
Yeah, it's going to be some tiebreakers there. Bearden, that big game with Cleveland coming up, and they close with Farragut. And I think Maryville, they end up closing with Bradley Central. So Cleveland right now is the 5th team, so they need to win. So it'll be a big game there. All right, we're going to look at some of the rankings of high school football across the state here in 1A. McKenzie, they've been on top all year long. They went to the state finals last year, I think, finished runner-up. And they're 8-0. South Pitt, 6-2 there. And Cofield, number 9, 7-1.
Good football team, and they're quite representative every single year, and that seems to be the one team from East Tennessee that does quite well in the 1A division, and it seems like over time, which I've got more back into the last 2 years, but I've heard of South Pittsburgh quite a bit, and sometimes Peabody, but definitely Coalfield and maybe Clay County, but a lot of those teams I'm just not that familiar with.
Yeah, I don't see Gordonsville in there, and
Yeah, exactly.
They put it on Superfan Yellow Jackets.
Exactly. They certainly did. And that was a surprise. That was, 20-something, and I want to say nothing or something like that.
35, something like that. All right. Go up to 2A. Tyner Academy. Chattanooga Tyner an academy now. I didn't realize that. On top, Hampton dropped to number 2. They was number 1 last week and lost to GP.
They must be giving GP a lot of respect that they just dropped to 2. So.
Westview, they're at number 5. I think they played for the state championship last year. No, I know Hampton played for it. I think Hampton and Westview might have played. I think Westview won it. No other local teams in that. Watch out for Union City down there at number 9. Go up to 3A, and it's the Tornadoes. Tornadoes to lose, right?
Exactly.
It's theirs.
Yes, it is.
How many they won in a row? 7 or 8?
Yes.
East Nashville. I think they played in the championship last year.
Well, no wonder Gatlinburg Pittman and Hampton and, Gatlinburg Pittman get a lot of respect. They're number 4 in Class 3A, so that tells you something right there.
Yeah, their quarterback, Brady Hammonds. They had a Coach Hammonds there for a long time at GP, and he threw for 367 yards, 4 touchdowns last week. Gatlinburg up to number 4, and probably been a while since you've seen the Highlanders up that high.
Exactly.
And you got Chucky Doak.
Now that sort of blows my mind because Chucky Doak is usually just an okay football team, but they're doing quite well this year.
The Black Knights in the Black Hole. So yeah, and Sweetwater, number 9, they dropped in McMinn County, and they stepped up and played the Cherokees, and they got hammered.
They certainly did. And Sweetwater plays a pretty rugged schedule all the way around. They really do.
Okay, up to 4A. And it's not changed all year. Greenville 1, Anderson County 2. And they're headed for a collision course in week 3, and not week 3, but quarterfinals, round 3. And I read Anderson County would host that game, I believe. If those teams meet, Anderson County will be hosting Greenville. So
there'll be so many people there, they'll be out into the street.
Yeah, they've had some big games with Greenville over the year, and it's standing room only if that happens. So you got Red Bank at number 4, Pearl Cone 5. Macon County beat Stone Memorial last week by 1 point.
35-34. I was like, are you serious?
And that dropped the Stone Memorial down to number 9. And DeKalb County, I think they're in that region as well. So you got 3 teams in that region, Macon, DeKalb, and Stone Memorial in the top 10. Upperman at number 7, they got a quality team too. So it's 4A. There's some good teams there in 4A.
Oh, yeah.
Go up to 5A. West Rebels up to number 1. Munford. That's where Johnny Jones played.
Okay.
Go Vols beat Bama.
You better believe it.
Nolensville, Page getting a first place vote. They dropped 2 spots. Daniel Boone undefeated at number 5. Big win last week over Science Hill. And they're back in region play this week. They travel to Bristol to take Tennessee High, but they should go to 8-0.
Yeah, they should.
Henry County there, Powell,
Powell has clawed their ways back up from 0-2 back to 6-2 and back to number 7 in the state. I mean, they have had some good wins.
Certainly have, and Sevier County at number 8.
I think they have surprised people all season long, including me, that they just keep on winning and keep on doing what they need to do. So.
And White County, well, they used to be down quite a bit.
Yeah.
That's a basketball school down there. They're playing some football now, aren't they?
They certainly are.
Down there with Kelly Jolly and country. All right, 6A. Oakland, and that's one of our picks this week, Walter. Oakland's at Riverdale in a big battle down there, big rivalry in Murfreesboro. But Oakland, they're 6-1. They lost last week to CPA private school.
Oh, okay.
So they suffered their first loss. I think CPA's ranked up there pretty well, have to be, to beat Oakland.
Oh, yeah.
DB's at number 3. Maryville 4, Bradley Central 5. And we're having a storm outside here, so hopefully,
and lightning.
Hopefully the power don't go off. Knock on wood.
That's it.
Well, that's a look at your rankings. Now we're going to look at some enrollment numbers. Chandler's going to throw up some enrollment numbers for next year in football. Walter, you can look at the figures there. Now this is for, I think, football. Maybe some other sports figure in that as well. I'm not sure, but that's the new enrollment figures for next year. And some of the schools have gone down, some have gone up. You can see Oakdale and Cofield, smallest schools around here. Sunbright gained 15 students. Harriman gained 29. Rockwood
lost 18.
Rockwood's in 2A. They may be moving down to 1A. Brad was telling me. I think from on 1A it's 0 to 374 students, and Rockwood's at 364. So the Tigers may be moving down. And Wartburg's at 383. They're right above the cutoff. And Kingston at 660. They'll stay in 3A. So Rockwood looks to be moving down. And Oneida, Brad was saying Oneida's plus 29 students. They're up to 415. So Oneida will be going to 2A more than likely in all sports. I think they're in 2A now, but maybe in all sports.
Okay.
Might bump them up. Anderson County, let's move on up here. Some of the Mavericks, they will no longer be the largest 4A school. Anderson County lost 72 students.
Goodness gracious.
That surprised me. You would think the way it's growing up there that they would gain, but someone said it's sort of a lot of it's like some older people moving in.
Oh, okay.
Not as many students, but they lost 72 students, so they're definitely staying 4A. Clinton gained 9 as the cutoff for 4A is 1,229 students, I think. No, that's not right, but anyway, looking at the numbers here is 4A. 4A is 762 to 1114. They're right there. Well,
Anderson County was right at it.
Yeah. That was in 2020, yeah.
Right.
In 5A, 1115. So Clinton's above that. So the Dragons will be in 5A in football.
And one of the smaller 5As, I guess.
Yeah, one of the smallest. Campbell County, 1,225 students. And the big Oak Ridge Wildcats gained 53. That's cutoff is 1496, so it's going to bump the Wildcats up to 6A in football.
Okay, that's interesting.
And that's going to knock them out of the region, Clinton's
Yeah, exactly.
region. And I'm hearing maybe West may slide over.
Oh, gosh.
To take their spots.
I don't think that would be a very good thing.
It's not good. And also,
not for Clinton.
Somebody was saying Powell was wanting to move up to 6A. I don't know why they'd want to do that, but...
I don't know why either. That doesn't sound too good.
Right. They won 5A last year, in first state championship, and I don't know why they'd want to move up to 6A and compete with Maryville, but that's a look at some of the enrollment numbers for next year. So it's interesting, and
it certainly is.
There's a new cycle next year, and be some new schedules. Teams will pick up some new teams, and
that'll be a good thing.
Be interested to see if Clinton and Anderson County play next year, and hopefully AC and Oak Ridge will play. I'd like to see all them.
I'd like
play.
to see. I'd like to see that all the way around. It would be very exciting.
All right, let's look at our picks for this week. Got about 10 minutes left in the show, and Walter, again, another game on you. I'm up by 10.
Don't tell anybody. My goodness.
What's that percentage, Walter? 125 and 35. What is that percentage? You good at that?
125 over 60. 160. I'd have to.
Is that how you do that?
This is on live TV.
You're good at math, are you?
Well, I'm okay at math. You're probably.
You had Miss Rosenbaum, didn't you?
You're about 78 or 79% anyway. You got me beat by quite a bit.
That's better than what's his name, ain't it? Smithy.
You talking about Leonard Post-Toast?
Jesse Smithy, 5-star preps.
Oh yes, yeah, that actually is better.
There you go. Up to the bank right here.
It's John Williams.
Walter, you're doing pretty good too. You won 15 and 45, so you're probably
115 and 45.
You're probably about 75%, ain't you?
Yeah, somewhere close to that. I just got to catch you eventually. I don't know how I'll do that. I'll just have to cheat, I guess.
Last week I went 15 and 5. You went 14 and 6. Let's look at this week. Farragut 5 and 2 at Bradley Central Bears 6 and 1.
That's going to be a very good one. I'm going to pick Farragut.
I'll take Farragut as well. Bearden 5 and 2 at Cleveland 4 and 3. Man, this is a big game here. It's probably a tough call. Cleveland upset Maryville. Let's see. I'm gonna take Bearden and go down to Cleveland and get that win.
Yeah, I am too. Bearden has proven me wrong a lot this year, winning games that I didn't think they would. So I'm thinking they'll win it.
What did Bearden do last week? Did they play last week? Their last game, I think maybe was they defeated Bradley Central at home. So both of us taking Bearden?
Yes.
Okay. York at Gibbs. York 5 and 2 at Gibbs 4 and 3 out of region game here. York stepping up.
York.
You're taking the York Dragons. I'm going to take the Gibbs Eagles. This can't be at Gibbs. Gibbs ain't got.
No.
I don't know where this game's at. They're showing it at Gibbs. I don't know where they're playing at.
Wherever they're designating as their home site, I don't know where that'll be, but.
Right. So you got York.
Yeah.
And I'll take Gibbs. Harriman at Greenback. Harriman 3 and 5. Greenback 2 and 5. Big game in this region. Walter, give me the Blue Devils to win at Greenback.
Yes, I pick Harriman as well. They're doing some good stuff this year.
Sevier County Smoky Bears at Heritage.
I think this will be very close, and I'll pick Sevier County, but I might be proven wrong.
Yeah, it could be. Smoky Bears on upset alert here. I'll take Sevier County as well at home. No, at Heritage. North City at Chattanooga, Hickson. North City 2-5 at Hickson, 4-3. The Panthers' big win over Clinton last week, and they ride high and go into Hickson and get the win.
Huh. Never thought about it that way. I didn't like how they beat our Dragons last week. I will pick Hickson as on this one.
Okay. Science Hill 4-4 at Jeff County, 5-2.
That one will be something else. I don't know exactly who to pick on this. I guess I'll go with Jefferson County.
Did we see their region standings a while ago? I don't recall seeing that.
I didn't recall seeing that at all.
It's a big region game. Who you taking?
Jefferson County.
I'll take the Patriots at home too. They got a big win last week over Hardin Valley. Okay, Walker Valley at McMinn County. This is a battle for 1 and 2 in Region 4. And I'm going to take Cherokees at home.
Okay.
That's for the region championship.
McMinn County. That's what I'm picking. Yeah.
Okay. Sunbright at Midway. Walter.
Sunbright.
Both teams 1 and 6.
Midway.
I'll go with the home team, the Green Wave. Karn 6-2 at Oak Ridge, 4-3. Wildcats got hammered last week. Karns defeated Halls 31-20. Karns defeated Oak Ridge last year. Bishop ran wild. I think the Wildcats get some payback tomorrow night.
I probably shouldn't go against that, but I'm gonna pick Karns.
Well, that means Oak Ridge will win, right?
Exactly. That's the way it works with me.
So you take Karns and I'll take Oak Ridge. Okay. AE at Pigeon Forge. Both teams, AE 3-5, Pigeon Forge 3-4.
Pigeon Forge all the way.
I'll take Pigeon Forge Tigers. Wartburg at Rockwood, OEB Law Game of the Week. Give me Rockwood.
Give me Rockwood, yes.
Rockwood big. Oneida 3-4 at Monterey, 5-2. 2 minutes left. Who you got? Oneida and Monterey.
Where do they play?
At Monterey.
Monterey.
I'll take Monterey at home as well. Scott 0-7 at Fulton, 3-4. Give me the Fighting Falcons at home.
Yeah, they'll win big, I would think.
I was going to say Fighting Cox, not Johnny Cox, but
Cock County, Fighting Cox.
Yeah,
yeah,
they're down low. But Hardin Valley at Maryville. Give me the Rebels.
That unfortunately is
easy.
Yeah, Maryville.
Brainerd 3-4 at Sweetwater, 5-2.
That'll be Sweetwater, but that could be interesting.
Daniel Boone at Tennessee High. Trailblazers stay undefeated.
Daniel Boone.
Oakland 6-1 at Riverdale, 4-3. Give me the Patriots on the road.
Yes, Oakland.
Cock County 2-6 at West, 7-0.
West by about 100.
And Union County at Alcoa about the same, right?
Exactly, yes.
All righty, so appreciate everyone watching. Thank you for the guest caller calling in, and 30 seconds left in the show, and for Chandler back in the back making it happen. Thank him and Brad for getting all these graphics put together. And
that's helped.
Tennessee,
quite helpful.
Tennessee 42, Alabama 40.
Wonderful. Tennessee 42, Alabama 34.
All right. Sounds good. Go Big Orange, and hope your favorite team wins Friday night. We'll see you next week.
Touchdown,
on the Locker
Tennessee.
Room Chat.